You've cleaned, yet you still feel heavy, haven't you? You've gathered things, bagged them up, donated them, taken them to the basement, or tossed them out. The house looks a bit neater now, less cluttered, and the corners that used to be messy are cleaner. You did everything you were told to do, everything the advice said to do. But after all that, you sit down and realize something still doesn't feel right. You walk into the room and feel strange open a closet, and feel drained stand in the middle of the house, and sigh without knowing why. That feeling isn't coming from dust or tangled wires, but from something else, something you haven't touched yet. Because the truth is, you haven't decluttered. You've only gotten rid of the easiest things to let go. The single socks, the old paper bags, the torn-up documents, the items that were already halfway out the door. All it took was a bit of time and motivation. But the truly heavy stuff is still there watching you in silence and draining you in ways you may not notice. These are the things tied to hopes to the past, to a version of yourself you haven't let go of yet, like a dress meant for someone who once dreamed of losing weight, a set of Italian books for someone who once planned a trip to Rome, a workout bench for someone who swore to turn their life around. You're not wrong for keeping them. But if you still feel weighed down even after decluttering, maybe you're holding on to things that no longer belong to you. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 categories of things we all tend to keep. You'll learn 4 simple questions to ask yourself, questions that help you be honest with who you are now. And then, little by little, you'll begin to feel lighter. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find this helpful. Your support is what keeps us going and sharing meaningful messages made just for you. Category 1: things bought for someone who never showed up. Every home has at least one item that wasn't bought for today, but for some ideal version of yourself. A juicer for the person who wakes up early and drinks detox water. A paintbrush set for someone who sits by the window sketching every afternoon. A book to learn Italian for the one who planned a European trip but never booked a ticket. These items aren't wrong. They're just not for the you who exists right now. You keep them not because you need them, but because it's hard to admit that the person you hope to become might never arrive. Every time you see them, you don't feel inspired. You feel disappointed. Not because the item failed, but because you think you didn't try hard enough. But the truth is, you don't owe anyone a perfect version of yourself. No one asked you to lose weight just to fit into an old dress. No one told you to speak Italian. And you don't need an art corner to live a meaningful life. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to say that something once mattered to you, but doesn't fit your life anymore. If one day you truly want to live out one of those dreams again, you'll know how to begin fresh. Not from an old object filled with guilt, but from a new, bright choice that suits who you are now. And if any item makes you feel bad about yourself, every time you see it, maybe it's not the machine or the dress or the book you need to let go of, but the guilt of not becoming someone else. Category 2: items tied to old memories. There are things you no longer use but still can't part with because they're not just objects, they're memories. A drawing your child made in 3rd grade. A card from a friend you no longer talk to. A shirt that belonged to a husband who has passed away. Each one holds a story, a moment, a feeling you don't want to lose. You keep them not out of need, but out of fear that if you let them go, the memory will disappear too. But dear one, memories don't live in things. They live in you. When you keep everything that truly meaningful gets lost in a sea of things that no longer speak to your heart. It's like keeping an entire room to remember someone, instead of choosing one item that really touches your soul. You don't need to hold on to everything to remember. You just need to choose what moves you the most. Maybe a photo, a small note, a handwritten message. For the rest, you can take pictures, write a thank you letter, or simply say in your heart, "Thank you for being with me during a part of my life." Then let the item go gently and with gratitude. If you've ever opened a box and shut it again because the emotions were too much, maybe it's time to face it once and for all. Not to forget, but to move forward. Not to erase someone you loved, but to live more fully with who you are today. Category 3 items that still work, but you hate using. Not everything that still works needs to be kept. There are things you still use, but every time you touch them, it frustrates you. That hard-to-clean cup, that rough shirt that scratches your skin, that blanket that slips off the bed every night. These things don't bring joy when you use them. They just annoy you and you tolerate them. You don't throw them out because you think it's wasteful. After all, they're still fine. After all, you're used to them. But that's like keeping a pair of shoes that hurt your feet just because they're still new. The small discomfort repeated daily slowly drains your mood without you realizing it. And the funny thing is, you might be surrounded by dozens of these things. Each one is a small dot of frustration. Together, they become a feeling of not wanting to come home, not wanting to open your closet, not wanting to touch anything. You don't need to keep a shirt you always avoid wearing. You don't need to keep a cup that you always push aside when making tea. Remember, you're not here to serve your things. Your things are supposed to serve you. If something makes you uncomfortable, it no longer deserves a place in your home. Give it away. And if no one needs it, let it go without guilt. You don't need to keep something just because it isn't broken. You don't need a house full of things you don't like. You need a space that feels good every day, one item at a time. Category 4. Items kept out of guilt, obligation, or awkwardness. There's a type of clutter many people don't notice. It's the stuff you don't want, but don't dare to let go of. A decorative plate from a relative's wedding. A picture frame gift from an old co-worker. A handmade pillow from your mum's friend. You don't use them, don't like them, don't feel they match your home. But you still keep them because you feel awkward. You're afraid they'll be hurt, afraid someone will think you're ungrateful, afraid of offending someone. But ask yourself, who are you keeping that item for? For yourself or an unclear relationship? The truth is, if someone truly cares for you, they wouldn't want you to live with guilt because of a gift. An object doesn't deserve to stay just because it was once a kind gesture. The gesture can be remembered, but the item should be chosen. And you have every right to choose what fits your life. Keep the kindness, but let the item go. Not because you're ungrateful, but because you're living with awareness. You don't need to leave a gift on display just in case someone asks. And if they do, you can simply smile and say, "It used to be here, and I appreciated it. But now I choose to keep what helps me feel lighter." And that is something you deserve to do with kindness and clarity. Category 5. Things kept just in case but never used. There's one kind of item that many older adults tend to hold on to. These are the just-in-case things. You might have 3 can openers, 4 old chargers, 5 thermal bags, 10 pairs of house slippers, or a box of tissues that never seems to end. You don't keep them because you love them, but because you're afraid of running out. Afraid one day you'll need them. afraid that when the main item breaks, you won't have a replacement. But if you look closely, most of those backup items have never been used. They sit quietly in cabinets, boxes, and drawers, gathering layers of dust over the years. And when the main item does break, you don't even want the backup. You go buy something new. So ask yourself, is that backup really meant to be used, or is it just there to give you temporary peace of mind? Keeping too much doesn't make you safer. It just makes your home heavier. Drawers won't open smoothly, cabinets run out of space, and your mind gets tired from digging through the extras. Ask this one simple question. If the main item breaks, will I honestly use this backup? If not, then it's not a backup. It's clutter. Keep the best one and let the rest go. A good home should be easy to find things in, easy to put things away, and easy to live in. It shouldn't be a storage room for maybe someday. Because what you need is not more stuff, but more room to live with ease. One item, one question, one truth. If you don't know where to start, don't start with the room or the closet or the whole house. Start with just one item that makes you hesitate when you see it. One item you're unsure about keeping or letting go. Place your hand on it and ask these 4 questions. Do I like this item? If I didn't have it, would I buy it today? Does it fit who I am now, or just who I used to be? And if it disappeared tomorrow, would I even notice? You don't have to answer perfectly. You just have to answer honestly. This isn't a test. No one's grading you. No one's watching. This is a moment to be real with yourself. And you might be surprised to find that with just one item, one decision, one brave moment of facing it, you feel different. You don't have to clean all day. You don't have to follow a plan. Just pick one time during the week, one thing from your pile, and one quiet moment to listen to yourself. If the answer is to keep it clearly and confidently. If the answer is to let go, release it with gratitude. The journey to feeling lighter doesn't begin with throwing things away. It begins with honesty. And from that place, you'll know exactly what to do next. No rush, no pressure, just your rhythm. Because your living space is an extension of your mind. And when you let go of one item, you open a space for yourself to breathe easier, live lighter, and feel more joy every day. One item can make you resent someone you love. Have you ever gotten upset over an item when the real reason wasn't the item itself? Like a workout bench bought with the hope that someone would exercise daily. But then it just sits there taking up space, gathering dust, getting in the way. Every time you look at it, you feel irritated. Not because it's big or heavy, but because it's proof of something that didn't happen. You feel angry because the promise was broken. Angry because you tried to make space, offered support, and waited. And then you feel angry at the person who made that promise, even if deep down you know that might not be fair. From that one object, the emotion spreads throughout the home. You find yourself avoiding that room, feeling burdened instead of hopeful. That's what clutter can do. It's not just about mess, it's about emotion. A misplaced item can weigh on your heart, not just your eyes. If you have something like that in your home, pause. Ask yourself again, what is this item serving? Is it helping me or making things heavier? If it's a symbol of a dream that no longer fits the present, you have the right to let it go. Not because someone failed, but because you deserve peace in your own home. every object carries energy, and you have the right to choose things that make you feel lighter when you look at them. A home is for living, not for show. Some people keep their homes looking perfect for appearances. They arrange everything to impress visitors. But once the guests leave, they live in a space that feels cramped, tiring, and untrue. Cleaning up shouldn't be about showing others you're tidy. It should be about making it easier to breathe, to sleep, to live. A truly beautiful home is one where your mind feels calm as soon as you walk in. An ideal cabinet isn't one with perfect labels. It's one where you can find what you need without effort. A corner worth keeping is one where you can sit still, breathe slowly, and not feel dragged down by your belongings. Real decluttering isn't about throwing everything away. It's about keeping things with intention. Maybe you'll keep a small brick your child picked up at the park, but you don't need to keep 3 half-used perfume bottles from 10 years ago. Maybe you'll keep an old photo frame, but you don't need to keep a wobbly shelf that's been broken for 3 years. You can live in an imperfect home as long as it lifts you. Don't clean to prove anything. Clean to come home to yourself. And if after tidying you feel more comfortable staying in your space, that's the sign you did it right. Keep what's worth keeping, let go of what's done. You've made it through 10 parts with me, through 5 categories of items we often keep for the wrong reasons, through honest questions, through corners we all glance at and pretend not to see. And by now, maybe you understand that decluttering isn't just about removing things. It's about looking deeper, reflecting, choosing to live simply not because you lack, but because you know what's enough. Cleaning isn't just about making your home tidy. It's to make your heart feel light. You don't need to live in a showroom. You just need a place where you feel like yourself. A space where everything has a reason to be there. A space where when you sit down, you feel ease without trying. That is home. And the journey to that feeling starts with one small action. One item. One question. One pause. You don't need to do everything in one day. Just do one right thing today. Then, piece by piece, item by item, corner by corner, you'll begin to see clearly what you truly need. Thank you for watching until the end. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, and leave a comment to let us know you're there. Your support means the world to us. We'll see you in the next video.